St. Croix are ridiculously expensive. However, doing some research, I ran into the St. Croix Triumph. This pole is like $110, $100 if you can get it on sale. I decided to give it a shot. So if you're doing some research and you're not sure if this is the right pole for you, this is the right video. Today, I'm gonna give my honest thoughts and opinions on whether this is worth the upgrade or you should just stick with the ugly sticks. So first of all, here's a breakdown of my rod. The size I grabbed was a 7-foot with a medium heavy backbone and a fast tip. What that means for non-nerds like myself is that it's got a heavier backbone than most of your other rods, and the tip bends slightly less than your standard rod would. So I ordered it online, got it shipped in, and a week later I had my new rod. My first impression of this rod is that it was light. I mean, stupid light. It's lighter than my Pfluger medium rod, which is 6 inches shorter. To compare this, my ugly stick is almost unusable for a normal rod. It is so long and so heavy that I get tired just from casting things like spinners. I tried to use a super spook on it one time and I got about 4 casts in before I put the rod away and used a different one. This pole is so light that I was using it as my main rod. Whopper ploppers, spinners, little swim baits, anything that could cast well on this thing normally went on it. The castability on this thing is really good. I find that I'm pretty accurate with this rod. It's not just throw it in a direction and it'll land somewhere. I actually can choose where this thing will land pretty precisely compared to a lot of the other rods I own. It also can mob lures that are right within its weight range. Sometimes I find that the lighter lures really struggle, especially with the Pflugers that I own. With it being so light, the sensitivity is really good on it too. A lot of your bigger poles, you can't really notice when there's a smaller fish tapping on it. You can't really feel the finesse in your pole. However, with this pole, I was happily surprised with how sensitive it was. This pole is not as durable as an ugly stick. I was trying to test a leader on it and I was pulling it, admittedly, in a weird way. The day before I was supposed to go out and hunt for muskie, I snapped the damn thing, but it did give me a chance to reach out to their customer service. Again, I have to say, I probably would have broken most normal pulls by doing what I did. I pulled it at a weird angle and it was a stupid move. Now the customer service was, it was okay. So St. Croix has a $60 no questions asked warranty, which means if your pull is defective, if you break it, it doesn't matter. No matter what, it's gonna be $60, that includes shipping, and they will send you a replacement pull of any model. The other cool thing about it is if you break your pole, you only have to pay the difference and $30 of what an upgrade would be. So I gave St. Croix their $60 and I waited. And I waited and I waited. And 2 weeks went by and I was getting impatient. I had another big trip coming up and I really wanted the pole back. So I decided to give St. Croix a call. This leads me to what I think is the biggest downside with St. Croix. I jumped onto a call list and immediately got put on hold. So I chose the callback option and waited. The entire shift went by, and finally, I got a call from a Wisconsin number. I went to pick it up, and I was a second too late because I was dealing with something at work. No voicemail, no nothing. I had to call back and start over in line. After another 3 hours of waiting, I finally got a call back and answered. The guy was very nice though. I have to say that. I was a little surprised because he said it would take a week to ship it out. So from warranty submission to receiving the pole, I would say it was about 3.5 weeks, which it's all right. I had to dock some points for how long I waited to get called back, and I think that it probably could have turned around a little bit quicker. My only other problem is that it's $60 for a defective rod. I could be wrong on that, but that's how I understood their warranty. If so, I'm not a huge fan of that. This is more of a personal opinion, but I think this rod just looks really good. The logo looks good, the color looks good. I like how thin the handle is, but it's thick enough to hold. I really do like the fit and finish, and both of the rods I've had were absolutely flawless, which you'd expect for a $100 rod. For $110, you are paying for the price of 2 ugly sticks, so I do expect it to be notably better in several ways. However, I was even surprised with the quality, especially with this being St. Croix's cheaper line. You always expect a little bit of them just using their brand to sell the product and not the product itself. All in all, I'm going to give this product an 8.5 out of 10, and I think if you have the money and you have a decent reel, I would buy it.